Today, my friends, we're going to be breaking down something a little bit different here at Town Hall 13 with Yetis and mass Quake spell. You heard me right. 12 Quakes and or 8 Quakes, and maybe even a clone in there, but this strategy is wrecking a lot of bases. Let's go check that out. So, if you're looking for a pure spam strategy with Yetis, then this is really going to be it. This is Dodeca Quake Yetis with the Siege Barrack. This is really interesting because I never expected 12 Quake spells to ever be used in any strategy. Yet here we are with Yetis. So, how do we perform this attack? Well, you're going to first use the Quake spells. This is the first thing that I've seen, is going to be using the Quake spells first. One's going to be over the Town Hall in this case. The other, now, here's the thing. These are all going to be optional areas. You can Quake anywhere. Just make sure that where your entry point is, that's where you're going to be Quaking in first. Then your second Quake would go in maybe towards the core to open something up. And then your third is going to open up another compartment. Something that I realize here is that the Quake spells are used not just to open up your entry, but to open up the multi-inferno compartments. That's something that I notice. So with this attack, you're bringing no other spells. You're not bringing rage. You're not bringing heal. You're not bringing jump. You're just bringing Quakes and jump and a poison to deal with the enemy CC. And that's about it. That's all you can do. That's all you have to do. That is a very simple attack, and notice that the heroes, except for the Queen and Royal Champion, are maxed. Well, I mean, that aren't maxed. King is level 66, and the Grand Warden's only level 46. He's not maxed either, and neither is the Siege Barrack. So, what you're going to see in this one, and it's just baffling to how this works really well, and we'll pause it as we go through. Notice that the first quad Quake is going to be on the Town Hall. Alright. Then the next one is going to be over the multi-inferno compartment and also where the scatter shots are. The third one is going to be placed kind of in that line of direction. Again, mine were kind of off here, but you can still tell that there is some sort of like opening to every single multi-inferno compartment. It may not be exact, but you may notice that all three of the multi-infernos can be targeted now by the Queen. So that's really important. So, and this takes like little to no effort. You don't even have to funnel. You don't have to funnel with this. You just have to make sure that you've Quaked enough so that then you have your Yetis to go through. You even got the Royal Champion on the outskirts, not going in with the rest of the heroes to get the multi-inferno as well. So notice how important those multi-inferno towers are in this case. Getting as much value as possible with the Royal Champion, getting a multi-inferno, and then the Yetis and the Yeti Mites can just have fun on their own. Just look at this. Like, I can't really teach this attack just because it is simple. It is so simple. It's so easy to do. I probably could do it. But this attack is extremely strong, and this is something that I have never seen before. If you are planning on using mass Yeti, well, this is the way to do it. And you could do this in war for a triple. It's incredible that this can actually 3-star bases. And all you have to do, I think the only reason though as well is the Royal Champion and the Queen must be maxed. I have yet to see one where the Queen isn't maxed, or the Queen and the Royal Champion. So this is definitely something where you might need a max Royal Champion and Queen just in order to triple really almost any base with this. But this is a crazy strategy that works really, really well with the Siege Barrack, and it's just pure spam. I mean, it is absolutely insane. I'm even surprised as well that this even tripled with just full-blown Yetis and 12 Quake spells. Now, this is something that I don't typically do, where I'm trying to kind of explain this one to you guys, but you guys can watch from here and just see how strong this is. It's crazy. 12 Quake spells with Yetis. It's insane. And I know I said that a bunch of times, but man, let's go ahead and take a look at another example with this same army composition. So in our next one, we're going to be seeing something of course, it's the same thing, but I want to bring your attention to this. With the Quake spells, what you're doing is you're trying to put it to your entry point, and not just that, but your first entry should be to the Town Hall. That's extremely important. You want to get to the town hall as quick as possible with this attack. But not just that, but you also want to open up the Inferno compartments. So the Quake spells in this replay were being used in these 3 spots. They are not random. They're all opening up one common thing, the Inferno. That is what they're trying to get rid of. Once you've been able to get rid of the Inferno, you completely can crush the base. Now, in this example, the Yetis will die out, and that leaves the Queen and Grand Warden left, and a few other troops as well from the Siege Barrack. But this is a really, really simple attack. Even if a lot of your troops die out, you'll be able to really come back and really go through the rest of the base extremely easily. So this attack is really nothing to scoff at. It is a very simple strategy. So let me just get rid of these, but it gives you guys a little bit of an understanding. So watch this. So of course, you're going to activate it. And yes, the Town Hall is only level 1, but don't worry about that, because, I mean, the max scatter shots, a few maxed Infernos, I mean, it's kind of a little bit more challenging, and a max Eagle for a Town Hall 12 to hit this. So don't expect a Town Hall 12 to. Even though it has a level 1 Giga Inferno that's around Town Hall 12 level, it's still a Town Hall 13. But notice how you don't even have to create a funnel. You can just spam everything in, and you can expect your Yetis to create the funnel. So just look at how everything else is moving in. The Royal Champion has been used. It's going in with the Yetis. The Grand Warden's ability being popped over the Inferno to keep everything alive. There is a Dragon and a Loon and an Ice Golem within the Clan Castle. This way, now sometimes this is going to be something, but still seeing something that you can deal with in terms of the CC is another really good thing as well. So notice how a large, like, look at all those Yeti Mites completely taking out the Eagle as well. And this is the first time I'm seeing it, but it is insane. And I think it's just crazy, honestly, that this attack is just completely destructive, like going through the rest of the base here. I have no words to describe it. You can tell that a lot of these Yetis have died out, but it is crazy how well this actually works. And we're going to go ahead and actually, we won't times two through this, but I want to kind of just explain that this strategy does work very well. And I think what the majority of it is to make sure that you're getting a lot of value from your Yetis. Of course, sometimes you really want to bring spells, and you can. But I think what's really interesting about this is that it still works against a lot of different bases, even like more max defenses and against a level 4 Eagle. So you can still do this attack on a lot of different style of bases. So this attack strategy is something that I would recommend trying out. We don't just have a Dodeca Quake, but we also have a few examples of a Octo Quake with a clone spell into Yetis. Yes, we're seeing a clone spell cloning Yetis as they move in. It's basically the same strategy, but instead, it's actually basically just, it's Octoquake and Yetis. It's basically pure spam with the Yetis as well. It's something that is really interesting. Definitely something I wanted to showcase here on the channel. But you guys can smash bases with it. I mean, these guys, Dexter here from Elite Academy has actually proven it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one. So here we go. We've got the last example, and this example, we're bringing in Yetis. There are a couple witches here to help distract some of the Inferno, or the single Infernos, of course, and a few of the other defenses with the skeletons, and bringing in Octoquake. We're going to see an Octoquake, we have a clone, and we have a Rage. So a little bit different than the other one, where you had literally no spells except for Quake and Poison, but now you don't even need Poison at all. You just really need your heroes to go in, and that's basically it. So with this attack, you're of course going to open up into the area that you're going to be doing your entry point, and then another one on the back end to open up a little bit more. Now, of course, you'll notice there is a Town Hall 11 level Eagle. So of course, this is a weaker base. But if you also look at the other defenses and the scatter shots, this is still somewhat of a Town Hall 13. It may not be maxed, but you can still really crush max bases with this. This thing is really strong. And I bet it'll get nerfed in the future, but that is something that I haven't seen before. I've seen Octoquake, but I've never seen Octoquake in Yetis, and I bet no one else has. This is actually the first time that I've ever seen it. So it's really crazy here. But let's go ahead and take a look at this one, because it is still a really crazy attack. I've never seen anything like it. But really, to kind of go over this, we're going to quad Quake into the Town Hall, because that's our entry point. Remember, with any type of Yeti attack from here, is that if you're using Quake spells and Yetis, you want to make sure that you're getting to the Town Hall. You do not want to fail this. Now, you're going to be using two things. You're going to use a baby dragon on one side. You're going to hope that a few more of the Yetis actually create the funnel on the other side. And then what you're going to have is you will actually have you'll have the witches and the rest of the Yetis to move in, as long as you've lured out the CC. I'm sorry, I'm saying a lot. Then you also have the Siege Barracks going through, and on the opposite side creating that funnel. So what you're doing here, let me pause it, is you are creating two funnels. You're creating one with the baby dragon and the siege, and then the baby dragon and a few Yetis, and then on the other side you have a Yeti and then the siege, and that's about it, what you're going to be doing on that side. And then what's entering into the base is your heroes and a clone to go right over the Yetis to produce even more Yetis, which means that you're going to get more value from that, because you're going to have more Yeti mites, which is really crazy. And this will still really work on a lot of base designs. And it's kind of crazy that this will actually work. Of course, the Eagle is definitely still a little bit weaker. But I think what's also still really important is that you are completely smashing these base designs. It really doesn't matter, because you are bringing in those Yetis. And take a look with the Grand Warden's ability, popping it over as many troops as possible, but then also making sure that you have those witches going through, that they are distracting and also doing extra damage to those structures, and then also those Yeti mites just doing crazy amounts of damage to a lot of other buildings as well. Even witches and Valkyries on the opposite side, not just to continue the funnel, but also to clean up as well. So you may see that now it's kind of running dry of Yetis, which is completely fine, because that's what you're going to typically happen. That's what's typically going to happen when you bring less spells to support them. But you still have witches, you still have the queen, you still have the Grand Warden. That's a common trend here with these attacks, but Dexter's showing us two different strategies with one common thing: Yetis and Quake spells. So if you guys did enjoy this video, let me know. Let me know if you guys enjoyed something a little bit different here on the channel. And not just that, but something that is super strange. Also, feel free to go ahead and let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see more Yeti attack strategy videos, and I'll bring it to you guys. Also, feel free to go ahead and join my community Discord, and also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Also, feel free to go ahead and join any of the community or any of the Discord servers I am covering. Well, any of the clans I'm covering, join their Discords in the description, and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. With that being said, that's going to do it, guys, for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.